Video rolling, audio. Should be one here. Just got one specifically.
You know you ready.
All right. And now, audio rolling. Yeah.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though, everybody? And welcome to the Retired Hood Rat Podcast. It's America's favorite retired hood rat. It's your girl, comedian T Barb in the building. And of course, we are live on Detroit is Different After Dark, even though it's in the morning. We don't care because I don't care. We saying this after dark, but it's in the morning. So thank you guys for tuning in. It is a very special edition. It is the last show of the year, which is also just our second show anyway. So we going into 2022 fresh and hot. We have a great show today. Of course, we are talking all things Detroit, and we have two of Detroit's hottest in the building because I have the best guest because I'm the best. So I want you to put your hands together for guest number one today. It's the one, the only Swifty Mcveigh.
What up, though? What up, though?
What up, though? We also have an up and coming one of the biggest actors that you will soon know in the game. And if you in Detroit and you don't know him, you've been under a rock. So for the rest of the country, we want to make sure you know him too. And we're going to talk about all those projects. I want y'all to give it up for Alphonso Settles.
What up, though?
We'll put little claps out. Okay, I was supposed to give him some little claps. He deserves some little claps, you know? So if this is your first time tuning in to the show, thank you so much. Don't forget, each and every Thursday, we are live on all platforms. So go download us on Spotify, on Apple Store, on Google Play, so you can be sure to keep up with us. And if you want to see us live, you want to see what I'm looking like, you want to see what I'm rocking, what I got on, no makeup for the rest of the month. So if you want to check it out, you know, I got little eyelashes on. I ain't gonna be fake. You know, gotta keep something on. Can't be walking around here looking like a whole little man. But other than that, we keeping it real in here. So if you want to check us out, make sure you go to Facebook fan page and also to YouTube. So when we first start, we always start with our word of the day. I think it's always important to start off with something fresh and also to let y'all know I'm not that ignorant because the show get a little ignorant later on. So what we do is we keep our word of the day. So then that way we keep it fresh, funky. We keep you motivated. That's what we all about here on the Retired Hood Rat Podcast. And then after that, I go into my little prayer today. The prayer is not about whatever deity. It's not about Jehovah. Don't be talking about you Jehovah Witness. You can't listen. It's not about that. It's just about releasing some good energy into the world. Okay. So I want to start with this word of the day. And today's word is stop taking advice from everybody. Okay. And I really wanted to tap into that because I know we're leaving 2021. We're going into 2022. And a lot of times everybody want to give you advice. Everybody want to tell you what to do. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't take any advice. Okay. But please be careful and selective who you take the advice from. Because the wrong advice can stop you from pursuing your goals, from pursuing your dreams, from being bigger than what you want to be, and also can hinder you. Let me tell you something. It seems like to me, maybe it's just me. Maybe this is my little retired hood rat world. I don't know. Maybe you living in sophisticated bougie. I don't know. All I know is that it seems like everybody who ain't got nothing going on is the main one who wants to give me advice. You cannot, let me tell you something. This gonna sound rude, but if you're real fat, you can't tell me how to lose weight. You can't. How can you tell me how to lose weight? You is 542 pounds and you 4'4". You cannot tell me. There's no way that you could tell me. So stop trying to give me advice and stop taking advice from everybody. I'm gonna give you a prime example, right? And this is straight up out my book. A little marketing plug. Make sure you go get my book, Faith Over Fear, Tales of Retired Hood Rats, available on my website, tbarbisfunny.com. But I give you an example. I always wanted to write a book, but I had a group of friends who told me that it wasn't for me. There's no way I could write a book. I had another group of friends that told me I couldn't be a comedian. I was taking advice from them on how I should live my life, what kind of man I should be dating, who I should be with. And none of that was good advice. The minute I stopped listening to them and got from around them. Then I started being a comedian. I was able to write a book that was successful. So stop taking advice from everybody. And let me even add on to that. Stop being the person giving the bold advice. Let me talk to you too, because we're not talking to you. A lot of times we just putting it off on ourselves. There are people who are out here destroying dreams for no goddamn reason. Just because it didn't work for you, don't mean that it won't work for the next person. So stop talking people out of their goals because it didn't work for you. Why don't you take a look back and think about what you can do to improve your life? Now, I ain't talking about nobody trying to do nothing stupid, extra dumb. Now, come on now. You know what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about that person that's in the corner and you got a friend that's confiding in you about something that they want to do, and all you do is provide negative information. Stop that, okay? The hood rat word of the day: stop taking advice that's bad and stop giving bad advice. Trust me, God has already provided you with whatever that he wants for you, whatever he wants you to do in your heart. He has already set that path for you. Your mind has to be open. Your heart has to be clear to understand that. And also you have to depend on yourself and understand that in this life, I done learned that. I don't know about anybody else, but one thing 2021 has taught me is that bet on yourself.
Facts.
Bet on yourself first.
Facts.
I don't say don't love your family, don't love yourself. I'm not saying that, because they're there as a support person. But remember, at the end of the day, you taking each and every breath. You taking each and every step. And nobody else can take those steps of breath for you. And the minute shit get hard, you will look around.
Solo.
It just be you, won't it?
Absolutely.
You would be like, okay, we was, especially when you be going hard for people, you be like, they gonna about to do this for me. Then you turn around and they be like, well, it was easier for me to take the money. You be like, damn, okay, I thought we was in this together. So just remember that. Remember that you are loved, that God provided you with all the tools that you need. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Everything else will come to fruition. And drop some of that dead ass weight, because some of these people in your life is dead weight. Trust me, I was crying. I miss my friend. I'm happy as hell now. Like, damn, I'm glad they gone. Pop that. You know, the first couple days be rough, don't it? And then later on, you be like, well, I got a couple extra dollars I ain't had last week. Well, I'll be damn. Did my booty get bigger? I'm talking about I done left some people, my butt got bigger just because. God was like, you left them, boom, 2 more inches. And I ain't had none. So like, God, I'll take it. Who else I gotta drop? Maybe get some bigger titties or something. I don't know. But that's the retired hood rat word of the day. And before we get too ghetto, it's time to pray. It's like just like I said, just in case, you know, because before we get real retired hood rat style, we like to just bow our heads and say a little prayer. Remember, it's not about Hishnu, it's not about Buddha, it's not about anybody. This is about your relationship with whoever it is that you pray to. So let's bow our heads. Let us pray. Dear God, we are so thankful that you brought us here. We thank you in advance for getting us where we need to go already safely. God, we understand that 2021 has been trying. We pray for everyone's health. We pray for everyone's well-being. We pray for everyone's financial stability, financial elevations. We pray for elevations in relationships. We pray for elevations in entertainment in the city. We pray that you stop the violence, God. In your name, amen. I feel like that stop the violence piece was so powerful that I had to stop the prayer then. So, y'all ready for some more show or not? That's why I love my engineer, because I was looking like, I know you're going to hit me with a little sound effect. Okay, so like I can say, it's the Retired Hood Rat Podcast. Don't forget, I'm your host, comedian T-Barb. Make sure you follow me on all platforms. That's TBARB. If you ain't doing nothing tonight, come by 90s every Monday, 90s Knowledge Cafe, 71 Oakman. We have comedy every week. But let's get off into these guests, because I've been talking long enough. Okay, so like I said, this show is called Straight Outta Detroit. I want to call it Straight Outta Detroit because, first off, we're on Detroit is Different podcast. Make sure you support our platform. But because I have some of Detroit's top in the building, okay? I am one of Detroit's funniest. Okay, that's me, T-Barb. I'm a comedian. And then I call my homeboy right here, Swifty Mcveigh. And if you don't know who he is, I'm gonna let him tell you just a little bit about who he is and what he means to the D.
Yeah, what up, though? What up, though? Swifty Mcveigh in the building, that D12 representative, Detroit native, MC, actor, philanthropist. No, I ain't no philanthropist. Everybody want to add philanthropist to that, maybe one day. But MC, actor, just putting on for the city. You know what I'm saying? Representing Detroit life, clothing, everywhere I go, and I'm happy to be here. For my peoples. Let's get it.
No, tell him run that. No, come on back. You tried to get away with that a little too easy. Go on back to little Swifty. Go on back to little Swifty. So tell him a little bit. Who is Swifty Mcveigh?
Okay.
Somebody looking at the show, they don't know. Who is Swifty Mcveigh?
All right, Swifty Mcveigh, D12 representative. Started off with D12. Actually, I started off with the Rabies back in the early 90s. Then got with D12 mid 90s. Signed to Shady Records for the last 23, 24 years, something like that. Dropped the album in 2001 called Devil's Night. Dropped another album in 2004 called D12 World. I got 12 solo albums, tons of mixtapes. I did plays, a few movies, just out here trying to put on from the D. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Detroit representative. I got a Detroit Life clothing line represented everywhere I go. Was blessed to tour numerous of times around the world. And then again, thank goodness. And just here trying to come up with the master plan to keep things going. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit of my history right there.
That's what I'm talking about. Next in the building. See, that's what I'm talking about. We bringing the heavy hitters. Next in the building, we got my dog Alphonso Settles. I'm gonna let him tell you a little bit about who he is.
What up, though? Alphonso Settles, born and raised in Detroit. I'm an actor right now. Acting. I did some modeling, earlier on. I kind of stepped away from that a little bit. Just in the acting game now, man. I got movies out. I've been blessed that, this on major platforms that you can see, not just here in the city, but really all over the world. And just trying to, like my man Swift, just trying to put on for the city, represent for the D and let them know that, it's a lot of talent here in the city. And we got more than just drug dealers and gangbangers here. So,
Drug dealers and gangbangers. Even though I do got some questions, so we gonna get off into with you, Alphonso, because if you guys have not been watching all the latest, hottest movies coming out of Detroit is becoming this movie hub. So you can catch him all over Tubi as soon as you turn it on. His face is plastered everywhere, and I've watched quite a few of those movies, and I do have some questions, especially when you said the drug dealers. Okay, but we're gonna get back to that because I'm telling you, it's gonna get juicy. All right. So you tuned into the Retired Hood Rat Morning Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on Detroit is Different, Spotify, Apple Music, and go to our YouTube channel, which is Comedian T-Barb. Click like and subscribe. You can see the whole show there. You can see clips there. Make sure you go subscribe to my YouTube. So Swifty,
Yo,
you been in the game how long?
Shoot, I could say professionally, I got my first deal in 1996, my first major deal with BMG Records, Robbins Entertainment, and Robbins Entertainment is actually Corey Robbins owned the record company. Corey Robbins was the one who owned Profile Records, which signed Run DMC back in the 80s. So when I was a part of the Rabies, I got connected with them, and they signed me for a single deal with the option of an album, meaning if we want to put out an album, we will, but if not, gone somewhere. But the single did what it did, and then I ended up signing with Shady Records a few years later. Yeah, so
okay. And how long ago was that? To be all up in your business.
Hey, you can ask. Let's get it. We actually signed with Shady Records. I want to say 98. So I signed with BMG 96 and signed with Shady Records 98, 99. Yeah, been a part of Shady Records in the scope ever since then. Yeah. And I got my own independent label going on right now, but still up under Shady Interscope,
Like RZA and the Wu-Tang Show?
Absolutely. Big shout out to them, laying the blueprint on how to do it.
Okay. Okay. So you're still under the Shady Records, but you're also under your own record label.
Absolutely. You know, you learn the tricks of the trade, and then you go off and do things independently, and you know, put it down on your own. I've actually had artists up under my label and did the CEO thing, but it didn't work out. Not because of me, because of the artists that was up under the label. So I said, you know what? Like you said earlier, invest in yourself. You got to bet on yourself. So I just started putting my own stuff out independently, which worked out.
Why you telling that I got kicked off the label? You telling all my business.
Yeah, you know, T-Bar got dropped. No, I'm playing. No, it's all love.
Okay, Raw Collection.
Yeah, Raw Collection.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Okay,
There you
look
go.
at you.
I
That's
see a little homework swag going on.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep. Raw Collection. Big shout out to the Raw Collection. Raw Collection actually was a group I started out with in the early 90s. Before I got signed. We used to go to the open mics together. One of the members, big shout out to Mr. Wrong. He was my rap partner since 88 or whatnot. And we actually got the deal with BMG together. You know, some things happened, whatever. And I actually got my own label and put the Raw Collection up under my own label. And they dropped a full-length album and a mixtape, but just didn't go as far as doing anything else. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to them. They all doing their thing, though. You know.
Now I do have a question. As an artist, do you think, because you hear people talk about the majors versus the independent, on the bottom line, where is the money at? Would you say that the money is more with the major labels, or would you say that you get your fair share as an independent artist?
The money is independent, most definitely. Because you know, you don't have no middleman taking anything. All that money go to you. The major labels, you get money too, but it's always that middleman taking from you. The machine, which is the major label, is the ones who do all the work for you. So you able to just to sit back and kind of watch people work for you. Independent is only hard because you're doing all the work yourself. You know what I'm saying? Which makes it a little bit harder, but the prize at the end is much rewarding financially. Independent. So once you get over that independent hump, as far as the work wise, you'll reap the benefits a little bit more than being up under a major label.
Okay, independent. So
Yeah.
Mr. Settles. So I know we go way back. Stagnation in the
Stagnation all day,
building. This is
baby.
my dog. Went to high school with him. Everything. Never thought about you as an actor.
I know.
So of course, you know, I want to know, how did you get started? How did you get started acting?
Well, I used to work for this entertainment company. I won't say the name because they just, unfortunately, they have a terrible reputation in the game. But I started off there actually as an employee, and the services that they offered to the public were free to employees. So, you know, from there, they set me up with my very first photo shoot. You know, had never did anything, gave me headshots, gave me everything that I needed to have at that time. And then they just started submitting me out for projects. So my first anything was actually within modeling. So I actually started modeling right before I started acting. So started doing runway shows, became you know, doing magazines and just kind of getting more exposure and notoriety around the city. And then I got an audition for my very first film, which was called Outta and the Art of Love with John Savage, Cordon Bleu from The Godfather. So I was more so like a featured extra. So I was right there on screen with him, but didn't have any lines. But, you know, off camera, got a chance to sit back and just chop it up with him, John Savage, and just pick his brain and learn a lot. I mean, we had so much downtime. We probably talked for about 3 or 4 hours straight. And then from there, I just kind of got bit with the acting bug, man. I just started going to different auditions, and I started landing stuff and booking stuff, and I ain't really looked back since then.
That is what's up. That's what's up. Y'all make sure y'all go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. You catch us live, catch us later. So you got bit. So it's one of those things where you were just presented with an opportunity. You was like, I like this.
Yeah.
And just kept it going.
Really, it was something that I kind of always wanted to do. But, you know, we from, man, you either going to play sports or you're going to do something, or you're going to work at Chrysler or Ford, one of the big three, or get you a job making some decent money. And then that's that. So, you know, we wasn't really afforded the opportunities to even know how to start. Because now I get a lot of questions. I get a lot of DMs and inboxes from people asking me just how to start, how to get it started. So once I learned how to get started and get my foot in the door, I just, you know how we do. Once we learn something, man, we hustle and grind, and I just been running with it ever since.
I mean, which is really a blessing. Now let me ask you this: when you came in, did you know that Detroit, as far as, and shout out to all of the Detroit filmmakers that we know, Darren Brown, Dennis
All my
Reed,
peoples.
Mind Vision. I mean, you know, so many actors, Moolah. I mean, just so many people. Did you know that Detroit was going to be so big
No clue.
on the acting?
No clue. Because during the time when I actually got into the industry, you know, we had lost the film incentives here.
Mhm.
And they took it to Atlanta. And you see what Atlanta doing.
And
You know,
Atlanta going crazy.
They're going crazy with it. But, you know, even though we don't have it back here, you know, they trying to get it back. You know, that's more on a political level. I don't really want to touch too much on that.
Mhm.
But, you know, getting into the game, I had no clue that, you know, when I could jump in at the end of 2016, that it was going to do what it's doing right now. And it's crazy. And I really think, you know, and I said this on a different interview, that, you know, a lot of us run to Atlanta and different places to get work, and that's cool. But in a minute, everybody gonna be running back here because right now we on fire. You know what I'm saying?
On fire. And see, one of the things that for me, where I was like, I always wanted to do the dual thing, is because, now don't get me wrong, and I'm gonna ask you guys both this as Detroit artists that are very respected and big in your field, because you hear this all the time, that you have to leave your city to be respected. Do you feel like that?
You know, the only reason why I used to say that back in the days is because it was a point in time in Detroit that where it wasn't a lot of platforms here. I mean, you know, it wasn't no production companies, and I'm only speaking on behalf of hip hop music wise. No production companies, no record labels like that. We had major studios, and a lot of people didn't know studios for obvious reasons, but it was just studio platforms. But when it came to actually getting on, a lot of people had to move to other places that was popping, you know, because they had other stuff set up there.
Mm-hmm.
And Michigan is really, you know, a family city, to where, you know, you go, you get on, you do your thing, and then once you accomplish all your goals and dreams, if you want to come back and chill and relax and raise a family, then you come back to Michigan and do that. But as far as, you know, thriving, as far as getting on, you always had to move back. Not move back, but leave out of the city to go do something. But now it's thriving a little bit more than it used to be. You know, it was a time where it wasn't thriving at all, where it's just like, dang. But now it's getting back into the mojo of things. You know, hip hop artists are popping. You know, people are doing things more independently, you know, with independent labels and things of that nature. And I just can't wait to see it thrive and get to that level. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely bubbling. But I used to say that back in the days. You did have to leave here to go do what you needed to do in order to get on, then come back and chill once that was accomplished.
So now, at one point in time, you felt like you needed to leave. At this point in time, you feel like you can stay here and make your mark.
Because now the microscope is on Detroit right now. You know, as far as hip hop is concerned, there's a lot of Detroit artists is popping that's really, really making money independently like never before.
Mhm.
You know, like you say, it's a lot of comedians, as you know, are here popping.
Yeah.
You know, singers and actors. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Everybody, the microscope, everybody is looking at Detroit right now. You know, with the TV show, big shout out to 50 with the BMF. Everybody is recognizing what's going on here, and now they're coming here. And not only that, it's getting built back up.
Mhm.
You know, you go down Woodward, when you see Little Caesars, it's almost like a baby Times Square up in this mud. When you look at the lights,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's feeling
Facts.
like, it's getting alive again. You know,
I think that Detroit is one of those places that is benefiting from people staying on the ground level. Meaning that a lot of times, sometimes that's even like what people say with crypto or just different things. A lot of times, sometimes when you come in later on, it may be too late. But if you come in on the beginning, then you get those opportunities maybe that others don't. How do you feel about it? Especially from an acting standpoint, because I know they say a lot of actors have to go to California, but Detroit is banging. So how do you feel about that?
Well, I think we are on the comeback, you know, and on the come up, because, you know, we popping right now. We got so many hot films that's out that you can view on these platforms, and they worldwide, you know. And I'm trying to get us out of saying Detroit films, Detroit movies, because when you start talking about, excuse me, when you start talking about other states, when they make movies, they don't say, oh, that was a Cali movie or that was a Cleveland movie, that was a New York movie. No, it's a movie. So when you go to pull up a Detroit film, you know, if it's Paper Hearts or if it's He Played Me or if it's whatever, you know, you scrolling on your streaming app, it might be next to Training Day. You know, it might be next to X-Men or Spider-Man, you know, so there is no category to say Detroit film. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we on a worldwide platform and I think we coming back. But to answer the question, I think overall, you do kind of got to go away for a minute because you grow. If you just confined to your city or your state or wherever you at, and you might be popping here, you might be hot here, and that's cool. And you might be popping other places, but you have to learn, you have to go away and learn how they do things, not just here, but across the board. And then once you learn that knowledge, and then you can come back and then you can apply it to here to elevate even more. And that's what I'm in the process of doing. So, you know, do I want to move away eventually? But home is home. I'm gonna always do work and get work here. So, but if I have an opportunity to go to Cali, like next month, I'll be in Daytona Beach, Florida, doing a film with Mystical. So I'm
that's
really,
what I'm talking about.
You know, I'm excited for that. You know, I got, you know, DMX last film coming up. Dog Man. So, you know.
Also, hold on. So you're in DMX's last film?
Yeah, it's called Dog Man.
Okay, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I can't give you too much about it because it was the things that have been happening, you know, with DMX's untimely passing, and then we replaced him with Michael Williams, and then he passed away. So that kind of brought things to a halt. But you know, we getting things back started. But for me, it's an action film. You're gonna see me how you've never seen me before. So I'm super excited to do it. Right now they got a great soundtrack that they're putting together right now and they're working on. Jadakiss is gonna head it up. You know, they're having a contest where they're gonna be touring. I think it's Miami, London, Chicago, Miami, and I want to say Philly and New York. So they're having a contest here. So like every state they go for the contest, I believe they're gonna take the people that win. And they're just gonna put them all together, all the winners, and then put them on the soundtrack. And then a couple of them are gonna do a song with Jadakiss. So
that is dope.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. How do I do a song with Jadakiss? So let me stop. I'm telling you, I think I'm a rapper. Come on, Swifty, boom, 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 boom. Even though Swifty, we got some cooking up. We got some. I'm excited. I am excited about that. Shout out to everybody who is watching live right now on IG. Make sure you go over to YouTube, Comedian T-Barb. Click like, click subscribe. We got a few people on. Jaquan the Hooligan, what up, though? He said, what up, though, Swift? Your boy Jaquan. Oh, you know what? I'm supposed to be calling my homeboy G Unitas when you get here.
Okay.
G grew up with you. Also, shout out to my boy Visionary Nick. Shots is coming. He said he heard it's something like The Wire. So that's my dog. I got a cameo in Shots, the series. Shout out to Herb Bellamy and that whole team over there. We had quite a few people. T Harv, what up, though? Donnie, what up, though? Let's see who else we had on live that was just tapping in. So we appreciate y'all for tapping in. Detroit, we straight out of Detroit today. We have Alphonso Settles, who is one of you just corrected me, one of the country's biggest. Look, I was about to say Detroit because we in Detroit, but I'm trying to work on it. And my dog Swifty Mcveigh. Let me ask y'all this. Okay, as two men in the industry, now this where T-Barb turned to T-Barb. Two men in the industry. I'm a comedian, so I know my experiences are different. Both of you guys, Swifty, married. How long you been married to?
Almost 10 years.
10 years, and your wife is so sweet.
Thank you.
And Settles, you are in a committed relationship as well. How do you feel that works, being in your industry and being married and in relationships with the groupies on top of that?
Well, I mean, it's,
you go first.
You want me to go first, right? Man,
that was
crazy,
real.
right?
I love him.
Like,
I told you need to hang with him because he is so good. He is so good.
That's crazy. I mean, you just gotta have self-control, you know. Since these movies have dropped, and really since for me, he played me. It then kind of put me on a different level, so to speak, when it comes to that. So, you know, I get a lot of messages, a lot of inboxes, a lot of DMs, you know. I'm learning to just not just leave it on scene, leave it on red, don't respond back. I try to be nice to people, you know what I'm saying, or cordial even when I run across them publicly, because if they idolize you or they a fan of you and you see them and they meet you for the first time and then you an asshole, then that's all they're gonna remember you and label you as. So I try to be nice and kind to people across the board. So as far as the groupies, I thank you, I appreciate it. I keep it, really about the movies if I do respond, and then I just keep it moving. If they want to take a picture, as long as they're not being disrespectful, man, we can take a picture, and I'm just gonna keep it moving.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Look,
I go third. No, I'm playing.
No, I'm just saying because then it's a difference for you too, Swifty, because you've been in the game so long that you've been married 10. But you've been on the road since what, 96? So what's your take on it?
Like you said, self-control is the main thing. I mean, and just stay focused on what you need to do. When people come up, know your assignment. Your assignment is to show love to those who appreciate your music, and that's the whole aim. And then with being married is also a blessing having somebody who's in the music business or entertainment field as well, so they understand. So it's not a lot of self-consciousness or this walking around here all angry and mad because you're spending hours doing what you need to do, or even talking to a fan, even if a fan might go overboard or whatever. That confidence of knowing that you're selling a fantasy, a dream, you're an artist, and this is how it is, but it all lands on you. You got to stay focused on the task, and the task is to perform, do your thing. And if somebody tries to come up and take things to another level, you got to stay strong enough to be like, and keep it moving. Simple as that.
Yeah, you know what? Because I'm gonna give Kevin Hart a lot of credit. Shout out to Kevin Hart, like he know me. Like shout out to you, Kevin, because I know you watching. So but one reason, did you guys watch True Story?
I did.
I love that.
I loved it.
Okay,
I watched the whole thing one day.
I watched the whole thing, but one thing that I loved about it was it showed that humility and how you can be misinterpreted into a bad person based on a fan and having a bad day or not even wanting to deal with that fan, or you know what I mean? I love that he showed that, because a lot of times we don't see that. All we hear is the media, such and such was a butthole, or such and such wasn't me. How you know that this person wasn't feeling good that day? That's just like with me being a comedian. Sometimes before I get caught on stage, I get the worst news. I found out in November I lost 7 people. I still had to go on stage. It was like earlier that day I found out my auntie died. Okay, you got a show tonight. Sometimes do I want to do the show? No, but I'm an independent artist. I know these people have already paid me. I am under a contract. I done paid my DTE bill with their money. I already done paid it. So I need to be there, and I can't bring that on stage. But that don't mean that when I get off, maybe I don't feel like hugging or talking. So he kind of showed that. And then we do have fans that are pushy.
A lot of people don't understand, as artists, as entertainers, we are here to provide a service to fans, and not just in what we do rap wise or movie wise. When you out in the public, we are here to service. You want an autograph? Yes. You know what I'm saying? So the energy, they expect a certain kind of energy from you. Like when we on stage and we perform in blood, sweat, and tears, I'm not supposed to let the crowd know that I'm tired, because if they see that energy, their energy go change. So when I'm outside and I see fans, they looking for a certain kind of energy, and it's our job as artists to give that, regardless of what's going on. We might not feel the best way, or whatever, something might be going on in our lives, but at the end of the day, this is what we're supposed to do.
And that's facts. And even for me in my field, as an actor, people tend to kind of remember you, like they'll recognize you for the movies that you've done, but they remember you for your best work. And in their opinion, like Day-Day, Mike Epps gonna always be Day-Day. Like he done a million movies since Friday.
Always.
He gonna always be Day-Day, because that's what we know him for. Chris Tucker kind of almost the same thing. Smokey, he done tons of other movies that he was great in, but we gonna always remember him for that. So I think I'm running across that now. Like I'm always gonna be recognized as Jai. And I'd have had people run up on me saying, for the ones who don't know me, they like, they kind of like, the females are kind of Like they want to come, but then they like, I don't know, because this nigga crazy.
might
You know what I'm
smack
saying?
me.
He might, right, he
Yeah.
might choke me
Yeah.
out or something. And I'm like, you know, that's so the opposite of me. But when they see you on TV, that's what they perceive you as to be. So, you know, it's hard when you actually meet them. You know, sometimes they don't know how to approach you, and then it becomes awkward. And it's like, okay, I'm cool. You know, I'm not this person that you saw on TV. I'm Alphonso. You know,
because let me tell you something. Because so let's break off into that. So I don't know if you guys, like I said, if you are listening with this Retired Hood Rat Morning podcast, make sure you go like and subscribe. Comedian T Barb. That's Comedian T Barb on YouTube. I'm trying to get my numbers up, so make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment. Also, you can follow me on all platforms. I am T Barb on IG, Comedian T Barb on TikTok. I'm trying to get my TikTok on, so make sure you follow us on YouTube and all those platforms to make sure that you're keeping up with things. So. Right, so we have the movie He Play Me, we play Ja. YouTube has been blowing up. Like I said, shout out to Homestead Entertainment, because you see Dennis Breed stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
He is the man putting that together. But in that particular movie, it just came out. It was rated what, number 1?
Yeah, it was number 1 in the country for indie films.
For indie films, period. And you are the star in that movie. And that movie, we don't want to give it away too much, but in that movie you play a pretty mean guy.
Not at first. You know, we could talk about it because it's been out for a minute. You know, Ja originally or initially was supposed to be an endearing guy, nice, sweet, you know, sweep you off your feet kind of dude, you know, do and tell you all the things that you need to hear for you to let your guards down. And then once he gets in, you know, if you get to talking crazy to him or you don't do something that he wants you to do, then you're gonna see a different side of Ja. And I think that it's dope because that's a real life scenario. Like I had a lot of women tell me that they have dated so many guys like Ja, you know, and to be honest, some of them have said that they like that. They like that.
So hold on. So here we go. Now we tapping into the psychology of people. So and you got to go watch this movie, Swifty. Okay. He Played Me. This is you and your wife. You know, you want to surprise her that you know about a movie that she would want. I mean, it's a good movie for everybody, but you definitely want to sit down and watch it because y'all gonna be like, oh, you know, then that's one of the movies where you talk to each other like, did you see that? You know. So you have had women that have come and identify with the main character and saying that they like the behavior of this, because in this movie, if you haven't seen it, I want you to go see it. So I'm not gonna tell everything, but like you said, it's been out. He's a nice guy. Of course, you can see nice looking guy. So in the film, he's playing that guy, and then he kind of flips the script, and then they have a lot of little twists and turns that you're not expecting towards the end. But he's out here with the different women, and you had a sex scene in that.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well,
I'm just saying, and so that's another thing, because and you do videos and stuff because you do have a woman, and so you had to have that sex scene in there.
Yeah.
It's a very woman on you type of film. Yeah. You had to really go there and embody this character. Yeah. So I want to know, first off, how you out here canceling these yamps about this character? I hope you be telling them, please, you do not want him. And second, how was it doing that sex scene? Did you have to remove yourself as someone in a relationship and just go deep into character, or?
Well, definitely that. One, two, because I've done other films where we had sex scenes and it's always implied nudity, which means, to y'all, we naked, but really we got on shorts. She might have her underwear on, we clothed somewhat, but we're just not enough so you can see that we naked.
Right.
He Played Me. We shot that like Power. So the scenes that you see where we naked, we was naked.
In front of everybody?
Part. Everybody needed to be there, so I was a little uncomfortable with that initially because I'm like, that was my first time being like that.
You should see Swifty.
Right. So, it was like, damn. But at the end of the day, I'm like, man, I'm an actor. This is what we do. You know, we all adults. We didn't seen it before. You know, it may look a little different, but we all got the same thing. So let's just work, man. Let's get this scene. And then, you know, when we doing it, it's not like when you watch it, how it's a continual thing and you like, oh, you kind of getting into it. You know, when we're actually doing it, we may do one particular position for 30 seconds, stop, camera switch, flip. You know, got to get her close up, got to get my close up, then got to get the wide shot. So, you know, those sex scenes that last, you know, 30, 40 seconds or even a minute in real life, we was in that position for maybe 30 or 40 minutes, but we got to get different angles. So it's like nobody's really feeling the way. We're just trying to get the shots we need so we can move on.
So let me ask you this. Here we go. Here we
go.
Because this is what I really want to know. Because I understand that, you know, you shooting a movie, and I'm trying to figure this out for myself. Because when my king come, and I'm, you know what I'm saying, I might have to bust it down on the scene or something. I want him to understand. Like,
oh man.
But no, for real, y'all killing me. But listen. So in these scenes, it's never a point in time, and I'm not talking about you per se, but a friend or whoever. It's never a point in time where people don't get aroused at all. So let's just say you in the scene. Have you ever been in the scene a woman was feeling you, or you felt like she was a little too extra outside of the professional part?
No, I haven't experienced that. Everybody that I have worked with, we've been, you know, totally, you know, consummate professionals. You know, we do our work, we get our scenes, and then we keep it moving. Okay. You know, I've never dated or had anybody try to come at me later on after we shoot a scene. We do what we got to do, and we keep it moving. And then on top of that, even if I was single, I wouldn't want to, because the scene here in Detroit for the films is small. And if it go left, you know, it's just like somebody you work with, with, and then y'all break up, and then you got to still see this person. And it might get weird, and you don't want that. So it's best not to, you know, do that or fraternize, you know, with your coworkers in that aspect. You know, for me, I just keep it business, keep it professional. Let's get our scenes, let's get our money, let's go home.
Tell me about it. But that is absolutely right, and I think that's something that people don't think about in the industry. Period. You know what I mean? It's sometimes severing those relationships based on those personal relationships, you know. And so I tell a lot of guys, like, I've never dated a comedian. Is a comedian that say I date him? I did not. I did not. I'm for real. I never had sex with a comedian. I never have. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't too much dating if ain't nobody sticking the wee in the cuckoo. So you know what I'm saying? But that's all I'm saying. I digress. Anyway, that's why retired hood. That's why Detroit, he didn't want to put us on the regular. Detroit is different because he said I'm gonna say something, but I ain't cuss that much though. Detroit is different after dark. Make sure you go subscribe to our YouTube channel, Comedian T-Barb. Also, we're on Spotify, we're on Google Play, we're on Apple Store. So make sure you go, just click subscribe, comment, like. We see some of your comments, so we like to say what up though to you. Make sure that you following our guest Alphonso Settles as well as Swifty Mcveigh. In the hazel. Let me see. What was I talking about?
A comedian dating you.
Oh no. Here you go. Who says though? And then here, shout out to Curry Fraser. He gonna write who says so. Whatever, man. Whatever, for real though. But I've never wanted to, for the same reason. I've never wanted to come to a club. And what's so funny is I still be getting blocked. I get blocked by people just not wanting me to have to work. So I can only imagine if I snap one of these snapper moves on somebody. I done been stalked before. I learned my lesson. I done been stalked a couple times. I don't like this shit. You be thinking it's all good till you actually get stalked and you running through an alley because your coochie. It's like, no, I quit. All right, moving on. What'd you say for real? Because you was stalking people in these movies. So do you feel like, so you have another action movie coming out? Do you feel like this action movie will help you? Because to me, it sounded like you were worried about the typecasting. Because it's that one guy, Swifty. You know that one guy? He stomp everybody. We don't know his name. He been in Menace to Society. Don't be a menace.
Caffeine.
I know you're talking about.
Big shout out to Caffeine.
His name Caffeine?
Yeah,
oh, you know him personally?
Not personally, but I know who he is.
Oh, you the first person I knew his name.
Yeah, that's Caffeine.
We call him Stumper.
He be like,
right.
Yeah, so he always known for that. I don't think he could play another role.
Yeah.
See, I don't want to fall into that trap. And so what it is now, certain movies, like we getting ready to do He Played Me Too, probably in the middle of next year. And I'm not going to say it definitely, but that's probably going to be the last time that I play that kind of role, because now it's already happening where I'm known as the dude that'll choke you and beat your ass. And I don't want to be known
and that
as
ain't
that.
nothing like how you
Right.
is,
That's
too.
nothing how I am. Like, so, I mean, it's cool. Like, I enjoy doing those roles. It's fun for me, but I've done it, a few different times to the point where it's like, okay, can we see you in something else? So if it's films that I know that's what they trying to cast me for, I won't even audition. I won't take it. Give me something else. Like, in The Bad Girls 2, I play a professor, a good guy, and I got some other stuff coming up where I'm gonna be actually the good guy for a change. Like, it's fun to play the bad guy. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, I had fun with He Played Me, but I don't want to be typecast as that's all you can do.
Okay.
I want to show my range and different stuff.
So that's good. Look at me, because I've been typecast as the hood rat. So now here we go. Swifty, question.
Okay.
Have you written a script? And if so, okay, so have you written a script? If so, what? If not, what will it be? Okay, I need to read that myself before I read it out loud. My bad. This was the behind the scenes, get in the front of the scenes. Have you ever written a script? And if not, and you wanted to write one, what would it be about?
I haven't written a script, but I got some stuff in my mind, that I'm gonna put together in the future. Life story events. I got a few things going on in my mind that happened when I was young that I feel like it could be interesting to the viewers out there. Some stuff that happened to me when I was a kid. I actually have a book called The Seventh Star. If you go to my Facebook, Swifty D12, you'll actually see the link, and it's a 3 or 4 hour audio book talking about my life or whatnot. And I got like 7 songs attached to it. Each song has a lot to do with the story. And I'm gonna take increments from that and write a script from that, because I got some interesting things that happen. So I don't want to give away, the whole thing as far as the book, because I want people to actually.
Let's not give it away since I'm starring in it. So let's not. We're gonna keep that.
Yeah.
I just casted myself in somebody else's film live on my.
I got you.
Because this is my show. So this is my show. So if I say I want to be in the film, so who would you get to play you though?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I've never really thought about that. I always was. Oh, but you know what though? A lot of things happened when I was young that molded me to who I am now. I would get my son to play a younger me. He actually played me in one of my music videos. I got he's 11 years old. He actually played in one of my videos. It's called Never Stop the Fight. And it's about me talking about me trying to get on in the music industry when I was young and how I used to battle on the playground. And he's actually playing a younger me in the video. So if I ever, wanted someone to play a younger me in the movie, it would be him right now. Because a lot of people are like, man, damn, he looks just like you. So this will make total sense, But an older me, I never really thought about it yet. That's a good question. Now I'm gonna have to think about it.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? You might want to look. He could be he twice as we gonna make you look smaller. See, look. You better start studying.
Hit the angles.
Hit them angles. So Swifty, and thank you everybody for tuning in to the Retired Hood Rat Podcast. I want to make sure that I continue to say that. Don't forget, shout out to our sponsor, Good Helpers Entertainment and Good Helpers Heating and Cooling. Shout out to Kip Fowler for always holding it down for me. Any heating and cooling issues that you may have, make sure you go see them. And also shout out to my clothing sponsor today, Culture Currency. They've been killing it. Detroit's brand. Make sure you go see them. They gave me I love the shirt. It's soft. It's cute. And if you want to advertise with me, make sure you hit me up. Email me, tbarbentertainment@gmail.com, because I'm trying to get some little coins. 2020, little coins, couple of coins. Okay, so let me ask you this. You've been on the road. You've been on the road with who? Tell us some of the people. We know Eminem. Tell us some of the people, because I know you guys are huge overseas. And I definitely want to talk about domestic versus international in hip hop.
Cool. We've been on the road with a lot of people. Fortunately, big shout out to Ludacris. We been on the road with Ludacris, Mobb Deep, rest in peace to Prodigy. Who else we been on the road? Well, Outkast. We've been on the road with Outkast, Black Eyed Peas, to name a few. I know it's a lot of artists I can't come to mind right now, but we've been blessed to do a lot of shows with a lot of artists over the years, man. I've been on so many tours, I might be missing a whole bunch of people.
Best show you ever did, hands down.
Oh my goodness. Nah, I don't know. Like I say, it's been so many tours that I have tons of stories as far as the best show. Because you got to think, you show on Monday, show on Tuesday, show on Thursday, show, so it's just been a lot of them.
I mean, standout moment.
But I'm gonna tell you one of the best tours. I can tell you one of the best tours I ever had in my life was the Up and Smoke tour. The Up and Smoke tour was our very first tour that we ever went on ever in life. And that whole experience, man, was just crazy.
Yeah, I watched that. That was dope.
Yeah, man. And just meeting everybody for the first time, getting to see what tour life is really about for the first time, really recognizing how, Dre and the Death Row camp their spirit was so similar to how Detroit spirit was, and we just matched, and the chemistry was just so dope, rolling with them cats every day and just learning a lot, you know what I'm saying? And the fun we had learning everything was just crazy. I'll never forget that. We had some great times on that tour.
Okay, so Detroit and Joe Louis Arena. Tell the story.
You said Detroit and Joe Louis Arena?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. What happened in Detroit and Joe Louis Arena?
Up in Smoke.
Oh, you know what? Shoot. Man, it's like a blur.
Now that was fun.
Yeah, it's like a big blur, man. I mean, just the whole experience was fun. Like I got to really think in my head some moments that really stood out, because it was a lot of standout moments. But it was a blessing to be able to have that tour as the first tour that we ever went on, and all that stuff that we used to laugh about on my band when M was on a big old tour bus and we in a 16-passenger van following the bus. All that was real. We had to pay our dues. It was like, I tell people, it's two dues you got to pay. The first dues is the dues you pay in the hood when you rapping at open mics and stuff like that. Then the second dues is the dues you pay once you get on. So following the tour bus and getting that experience was a blessing to learn from that. But as far as things that happened, it's like a big old blur, man. I don't know.
Ooh, that mean it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, when I did an independent tour, trust me, wasn't nothing like wasn't no tour bus to even follow. You know what I'm saying? We was in a little Jetta, but we made it, and tour life has always been fun. Question, Alphonso, do you, now that you are all over Tubi, people know your work, do you still audition? And can you give anybody that's up and coming that wants to be in entertainment a tip to win an audition? Do you dress in character? Do you come with certain props? Is there something to it?
Well, to answer the first part of the question, yes, I do still audition. Not all the time, because I have been blessed to every project you do is kind of like an audition piece for your next. So people see the work, they recognize it. So I have had a lot of people reach out to me and just say, hey, listen, I got a role. They'll shoot me the script if I'm interested. We can talk business and then just kind of go from there. But yeah, I still audition. I have no problems with showing up, and going through the process of an audition and, just going from there. And I feel that, for anybody coming in, that's very important, especially when you haven't established yourself. Nobody really has seen anything or know your face. You got to audition. You got to get in front of these people. When you walk in, it might be a panel of 3 or 4 people or more that's deciding who they want to give roles to. So you have to be prepared, have a resume. If you don't, just have a headshot or something that you need to get in the door. And then you just go in and kill it. And then when you come in, you just want to be confident, you're not arrogant or cocky, but just confident. Even if you're nervous on the inside, don't let it show. and just read it. If it's a cold read, just read with your counterpart and just give it your best shot. That's all you can do. And every audition you start to know what to expect. So every audition you start to get better with it. So that comfortability starts to kick in even more, and the nervousness just goes away. So that's what I would tell somebody coming in. But auditioning is super important, especially if you're new. If you don't, it's like a job interview. How you gonna get hired if you don't do the interview?
That is true. That is true. I mean, because what about the character part? Would you suggest that if you get a script that the person comes in character or more as a blank canvas?
You can come in character. That has worked. For certain people. Even in Hollywood, I think Steve Urkel showed up as Urkel for his audition, so that helped him a lot. More so on the independent scene, it could work. It just really depends on you and what you're comfortable with. Because at the end of the day, if this is what you're reading for, the character you're going for, you're gonna have to be in character at some point anyway. So if you're coming in the gates already in character for the audition, I think that will raise some eyebrows, like, oh, he came in like this person. But it just depends on you and the situation.
That is interesting. That is interesting. You are listening to the Retired Hood Rat Podcast. Don't forget, if you want to watch us live each and every Monday, 10 a.m., we are live. We go live on fan page, Comedian T Barb. Also, subscribe to the YouTube, which is Comedian T Barb as well. I'll put a little bit on Instagram, but if you want to catch the complete show, you can catch it there. Also, don't forget, each and every Thursday, that's where you'll be able to hear this show live on all platforms, Spotify. So every Thursday, we drop live on Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, DetroitIsDifferent.com. And I also share a link on my website, which is tbarbisfunny.com. So we almost in. Let's see. Oh my God. This has been an amazing show. First off, I want you guys to make sure that you tap in with our guest, Swifty Mcveigh, Detroit Life, Alphonso Settles. Make sure you support both of them. And before we get out of here, any words of advice that you want to give to upcoming artists who want to do their thing, who want to be in a great position? Anything, a story you want to tell, advice you want to give, any outros?
For me, I just want to say, your passion, whatever it is, whatever your passion is, keep your passion as your comfort zone. Like allow your passion to be something that you can look forward to doing. Don't entangle it with what you really got to do in life. Like if you looking to make a lot of money for doing what you love to do and it's not coming in as fast enough, do what you got to do. Work and do your thing. And then when you're not working or whatever, have your passion something you can look forward to, that you feel good about. That's and don't do it for the money. Just do it. The money go come. Because if you entangle it with your everyday life and things you got to do, you might get writer's block. You might get frustrated and might not be in the mood to do what you love to do. But if you just say, okay, when I get home and I'm gonna put everything behind me and then do this, you feel much better about tackling it. You know what I'm saying? You can come up with your best work. So, your passion is your comfort zone.
Facts.
Leave it at that. And then everything else will come. Don't just say, I'm doing this for the money. Do it because you love it. And then everything else will come, and just work hard. Make sure you don't let a day go by without putting 2 or 3 hours into it, an hour or something. Every day has to go towards it. Don't never, let days go by without tackling your passion and keep it as your comfort zone. You're right. You come up with your best ideas doing it that way.
All right, now what you got for us, Fonzo?
I mean, kind of the same thing. I just think that, when you come in the game, whatever it is that you're doing, but especially if you're trying to act, I advise that you get some classes. I've taken a few, get you some lessons because you can always learn, and just be hungry, be driven. You got to have a work ethic, got to have thick skin. You're going to get a lot of rejection. That's why, and people don't probably even notice, like I have auditioned for a lot of stuff and been told no for various reasons, or they may not even give you a reason. I've auditioned for Power, the games people play with Laura London. I done had auditions for Sisters, Tyler Perry. I mean, like the game, like a lot of shows have told me no, or I didn't get a response. So when I do get a yes, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm excited because I didn't been told no 100 times and people not even aware. And it's such a grind. And sometimes it will have you feeling like, damn, am I good enough? Like, why I didn't get this? And I'm learning even still that after I audition, I forget about it. And I just move on to the next one because, if you sitting back, it's just like a job interview. They paying you $30 an hour and you do that interview and now you sitting, you looking at your phone every 10 seconds like, damn, is they calling me? Is they calling? Is they emailing? You drive yourself crazy like that. Do the work, do the audition, move on to the next. And I just tell people that, just be driven and you got to have a work ethic. That more so than anything. And people around you or on the outside looking in will recognize your work ethic, and that will inspire them and motivate them. And that's something that I'm looking to do. Like, like I said, we went to high school together. Man. We from the inner streets of Detroit, man. Like they don't expect for us to have our own podcast or be an actor on a platform that everybody can see or be a rapper that then toured the country. Like they don't expect that from us. Like I said, they think we gangbangers and drug dealers, and it's just so much more than that. So you just got to have, at the end of the day, a grind. You got to be driven and you got to have a work ethic. If you have all three of those or at least one, then you on to something.
And thank you for that, because before we get out here, I like that you touched on the fact that a lot of people just see the guests. So they just see you on the movies. They see you in the top #1 independent movie in the country. Make sure you guys go watch He Played Me. Make sure you guys go watch Paper Heart. Make sure you guys go watch Deceitful Passions. And that's Renika McQueen's movie as well, right? And I love her. Shout out to Renika McQueen. That's my homegirl right there. Deceitful Passions. So make sure you go watch any of those. But they see you in those films. They don't know, like you said, that you may have walked out with your head held down 50 times. They see you on tour with D12 and they don't know that you were in that little bus behind the tour bus, because all they see was, okay, Grammys and nominations and all of these great things going on. They didn't see that, hey, behind the scenes, I was following this tour bus, or I was at the hip hop shop over on 7 Mile rapping in the middle of the night, where I got a ride there and didn't know how I was gonna get home that night, and I was hungry and eating French fries out of my homeboy plate.
There you go.
Tell you,
You know what I mean?
They don't see the work behind the work. Just as like, I'm pretty sure you got a million songs nobody never heard. I got a lot of films nobody's ever seen and never hit the light of day. Like, you probably got jokes that you ain't never told.
I got comedy specials.
Jokes. People they don't realize the grind behind what we do. So when you do something and people recognize you for it and they like it, it's a celebration.
Absolutely.
It's not about being arrogant or cocky or trying to brag and boast. Like, I work so hard that when I get something, I'm like, hell yeah, finally. You know what I'm saying? So I feel where you're coming from with that.
Absolutely. So don't forget, no means next opportunity each and every week. First off, I want to say to everybody, this is the end of 2021. We're going into 2022. I know you may be listening to this podcast. It may be 2024. You still probably popping it in because now I'm a mega superstar and you want to hear where I began. So you came back here. So I understand that. So, but I don't care what year it is. No always stands for next opportunity. Never believe that a no is it. Never believe that you less than. Never believe that you cannot have the career. You got 3 people sitting here that have all made careers from nothing, like from scratch. No hand-me-downs. No, here go to just a dream, a wish, and a want and a hunger to continue to do that. So Detroit, we love you. The country, we love you. The world, we love you. Okay. Shout out to each and everybody. Make sure you tune in each and every Thursday for the new episodes. I need you to subscribe to that YouTube channel. It's free. All you got to do is click subscribe, click like, make sure you comment. Shout out to Curtis Lyons, Jaquana Julian, Gerard, and
what up, Dojo Quan?
Socials of Guests. He was knowing everything done. Socials again. So make sure that you tuning in each and every Monday. Make sure that you supporting our guests. We got Swifty Mcveigh. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Alphonso Settles. Thank you so much. Don't forget, each and every Monday, 90s Knowledge Cafe, 71 Oakman. We going down. Showtime, 9 o'clock. Make sure you come see me. And don't forget, January 8th, I'm at the Senate Theater. You can get your tickets on Eventbrite for that. Me, Jay Will, some of Detroit's hottest. I love you guys. And until next time, it's the Retired Hood Rat Podcast. Peace, y'all.
Get it. Peace.